It was a rainy afternoon, and Sophie sat by her window watching droplets race down the glass. She sighed, bored of being stuck inside with nothing to do. Maybe I should go to the library, she thought. The idea brightened her mood, and she grabbed her umbrella before stepping into the drizzly streets. The library was quiet, just as she liked it. The scent of old books filled the air as Sophie wandered between the tall shelves, running her fingers along the spines of dusty novels. To her, this place was magical in its own way, a haven of stories waiting to be discovered. Today, however, Sophie wasn't looking for any story in particular. She simply enjoyed the peace and quiet, with the sound of rain tapping against the windows. Little did she know, something extraordinary was about to happen. Sophie strolled deeper into the library, her footsteps echoing softly in the quiet space. Her eyes darted across the rows of books until something caught her attention, a faint golden shimmer coming from a corner shelf. Curious, she walked closer and found a book with a brilliant glowing cover. Unlike the others, its spine seemed untouched by time, and its title was written in elegant, swirling letters. Sophie hesitated for a moment, then reached out and picked it up. As soon as she opened the book, a warm light spilled out, illuminating the nearby shelves. To her astonishment, a friendly voice greeted her. "Hello, Sophie," it said. She gasped, looking around to see who had spoken. But there was no one else nearby. The voice continued, "Don't be afraid. I'm here to help you learn English in a fun and magical way." Sophie blinked, unsure if she was dreaming, but the glowing book in her hands felt very real. "Okay," she said hesitantly. "How does this work?" "Follow my instructions," the book replied. "You'll see it's easier than you think." Intrigued, Sophie nodded. "All right, I'll give it a try," she said, a spark of excitement flickering inside her. Sophie held the glowing book tightly as the voice spoke again, this time with a cheerful tone. "Let's start with something simple. Look around you," it said. Sophie glanced at the nearest table. "This is a table," the book explained. "Repeat after me. This is a table. This is a table," Sophie said, her voice echoing softly in the quiet library. "Great job," the book encouraged. "Now, let's try something else. What is this?" A glowing image of a chair appeared on the page. "A chair?" Sophie guessed. "Yes," the book replied. "This is a chair. Now say, 'Where is the chair? Where is the chair?'" Sophie repeated, smiling as she got the hang of it. The book continued, showing her more objects around the library. "This is a book. This is a shelf. This is a lamp. Repeat each one with me." Sophie eagerly followed along, her confidence growing with every word. The book then gave her a small challenge. "Now, ask where something is. Try this. Where is the lamp?" Sophie paused for a moment, then said, "Where is the lamp?" "Perfect." The book exclaimed, "You're doing wonderfully." Remember, these phrases are very useful in everyday life. Sophie nodded, feeling proud of herself as the lessons continued. The glowing book hummed softly before speaking again. "Now it's time for a challenge," it said. Sophie tilted her head, intrigued. "What kind of challenge?" she asked. "I want you to find a specific book in this library," the book replied. "It's blue and it's on the top shelf of the third row. Use what you've learned so far to locate it." Sophie felt a spark of excitement as she turned toward the shelves. She walked to the third row, looking up at the tall bookshelf. "Where is the blue book?" she asked, her voice echoing softly in the quiet library. She noticed a faint shimmer at the top of the shelf. "There it is," she exclaimed, but the book was out of reach. "Good job spotting it," the glowing book said. "Now let's use a helpful phrase. Can I have some help? Repeat after me." "Can I have some help?" Sophie said aloud. "Perfect. Go ahead and ask the librarian," the book encouraged. Sophie walked over to the front desk and spoke confidently to the librarian. "Can I have some help? I need the blue book on the top shelf." The librarian smiled, retrieving the book for her. "Here you go," she said warmly. "Thank you," Sophie replied, clutching the book tightly. She felt proud, not just for finding the book, but for using her new English phrases successfully. Sophie returned to her seat, holding the blue book in her hands. She placed it next to the glowing book, which began to hum with approval. "You did wonderfully," it said. "Let's review what you've learned today." The glowing book opened its pages, revealing a list of phrases. "This is a table." "This is a chair." "Where is the lamp?" "Can I have some help?" "Now," the book continued, "let me show you how these phrases can be useful in everyday life." Sophie leaned forward, intrigued. The book projected images of a cafe, a store, and a classroom. Imagine you're at a cafe and want to find a chair. You can say, "Where is the chair?" Or if you need assistance, you can say, "Can I have some help?" See how easy it is? Sophie nodded, a smile spreading across her face. "I can see how this would be really useful," she said. The book's glow softened as it spoke again. "You've taken the first step toward learning English. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Keep practicing, and you'll do great." "Thank you," Sophie said warmly, closing the blue book and placing it back on the shelf. She glanced at the glowing book in her hands. "I'll be back soon to learn more." The book sparkled as if smiling. "I'll be waiting." Sophie turned toward the audience, the glowing book still in her hands. "Now it's your turn," she said with a confident smile. "Let's practice the phrases we learned today together." She held up the book as it displayed the first phrase. "This is a—" "Look around you," Sophie encouraged. Find an object near you and say, "This is a—" For example, "This is a phone." Go ahead, try it now. The book hummed approvingly and displayed the next phrase, "Where is?" Now, let's practice asking questions. Pick something in your room or imagine you're looking for something. Ask, "Where is the—" For example, "Where is the book?" Sophie paused, giving viewers time to repeat the phrases. "Great job!" Remember, practicing out loud will help you build confidence. "For our final challenge," she said, "I want you to think of a situation where you might need help, like at a store or library. Practice saying, 'Can I have some help?' Write your example in the comments below." She smiled warmly. Learning English can feel magical, just like this story. Keep practicing, and I promise you'll get better every day. As the glowing book sparkled one last time, Sophie added, "Thank you for joining me on this adventure. Don't forget to subscribe and come back for the next story. See you soon."